Menachos Daf Zayin. We're starting from Daf Yomi Menachos, like 10 lines from the bottom. Elohim Ashmalon. Quick review. The Mishnah on Daf Vav Amud Aleph tells us that there are different people that are puzzled to do the avodas, a mincha, the kmitza, and they do the kmitza, such as a Yisrael, a Ein, and a Aral, Chusei Kippurim, Tfil Yoim. What happens if they do the avodah, the kmitza? It's puzzle. Then the Mishnah says, if somebody does the kmitza, bismoil with his left hand, it's also puzzle. And Beseira says that you could reuse that kmitza. Is he referring to only the smoil or the entire Mishnah? So the Gemara brought a brisa with Tanaim that say that he's referring to the entire Mishnah. Any puzzle or Yisrael that does kmitza, Ben Beseira holds, if he puts it back into the bowl, he can start all over again. Ask the Gemara, if so what did Rav accomplish by saying that all the psulin you can start over again? It's already in the brisa. The Tanoim already say that that's what Ben Beseira meant, and that's where we're holding right now. Elohim Ashmal and Rav. This is what Rav meant to say. Chomatz vafilu kiddush. Even if the Yisrael put it in the second bowl, how does kmitza work? Again, you put the flour in one bowl, a kli sharis, becomes kadosh. Then you do the kmitza. Either you put it in another bowl, you cook it, bake it, whatever you do, but there's a second bowl. You take the kmitza and you put it into the second bowl. So even though he put the kmitza in the second bowl, so now it has its final kedusha, you could still use that flour again. Take it out of the bowl, put it into the original bowl, and start over again. By him being mekadosh it in the second bowl, he doesn't ruin it. That's what Rav is coming to mekadosh. And this comes to say that's different than the Tanoim. The Sanya, Rabbi Yosi ben Yasyon, seems like he was Sfardi. Yosi ben Yosi. Oh, I see over here. There's actually there might be a go here. Okay, maybe I had a different name. Yosi ben Yasyon. Rabbi Yehuda hanachtem omru. B'medvar mamurim shekomatz v'lo kidesh. Ava kidesh posal. So they hold that once you do the final kedusha, it is pasul. Big Damri comments in.
One day by me, one day by you.
Some people say that Rav said the opposite. Comments in Kiddush Loi. That's his Kiddush. That if the Kohen did the final Gedusha, you can no longer use it again. That was his Kiddush. Keman Kanet Hanoi, and then he's going to hold like Yosef ben Yasyon, that it's no good once the final Gedusha happens. Well, Afugim Tanakam, come to exclude the Tanakam. Now there's a Bam Kasha. What happened there? This guy who's puzzled did a kmitza, and then he put it into the second bowl. And you're saying, even though it became kadosh, you could reuse it. Really? It became kadosh? He has the power to make a kmitza kadosh. What's going on here? Mimanav shach. Ma'isar ra'anetanoi. I kmitzas psulan avoidahi. If somebody that's puzzled has the power to do avodah, then even if he didn't put it into the second kli, it should be completely puzzled. Why? Because this puzzled guy did kmitza, and that itself should make his kmitza puzzled. And if it's not considered anything, imagine you have a bowl of flour and a monkey comes along and does a kmitza. Do we care? No. You can put it right back in. A guy that's puzzled doesn't have any power. So he shouldn't be able to make it puzzle. If he can't make it puzzle, so who cares if he puts it in a kli sharis afterwards? How does it help? Says Rav Nachman, no, pshat is like this. Mordik pshat. Yes. He has the power. Wait a minute. Avodah takes time, right? If he dips one finger into the flour, that's not avodah. 2 fingers in the flour, it's not avodah. He has to go like this. Not only does he have to go like this, but he has to put it into a kli sharis. It's one long extended avodah. So he started the avodah by the kmitza. He finished it with a kli sharis. So now we understand, according to this, the puzzle has the power to do an avodah, but it doesn't finish, the avodah isn't finished until he finishes putting it into the kli shareis, the second kli shareis. That's the Gemara. So wait a minute. Why does he have to put it into a different kli shareis? We're telling this guy that's puzzled to put it into the original kli shareis. What's wrong with the original kli shareis? How come that doesn't finish off his avodah? How does it work? You take the flour, you put it into a kli shareis. It has a certain kedusha, a certain amount of kedusha. From that kli shareis, he does a kmitza. After the kmitza, he goes and he puts it into a second kli shareis. What if he took that kmitza and put it back into the first kli shareis? Why doesn't that accomplish the same thing as the second kli shareis accomplishes? You're telling me once this puzzle guy does a kmitza and puts it into the second kli shareis, that's how he finishes the avodah. So if he did a kmitza and he put it back into the first kli shareis, it's the same kli shareis as the second kli shareis. The reason why we put it in the second kli shareis, by the way, is for a technical reason, because we don't want it to mix with anything else. But in terms of creating kedusha, the first kli shareis should also create a kedusha. So on this we have three terutzim. The first teretz is, yes, you need das though. You have to have a mind to be mekadosh, and when you put it back into the second kli, there's no kedusha. The second teretz we're going to have is when he put in the first back into the first, he didn't have a mind to be mekadosh. The opposite. He wanted to undo what he did. He wanted to start over. Another teretz we have is that he put it on top of the cup. There was flour. He's going to put it on top of the cup. And the third teretz we're going to see is...
What's wrong with that?
We're going to go into the explanation. The third teretz is that he put it on the ground. The cup was on the ground, the kli was on the ground, and he put it on the ground. We have any extra Gemaras here? Oh, it's Friday. The other shir takes their Gemaras to the different shir.
What doesn't help the fact that it's on the ground?
We're going to see everything inside. I was just being magdim. Omer Rabbi Yochanan, from this we could prove the fact that when this puzzle puts the kaimetz into the original kli, it's not a big deal. I'll prove from there, Zoyse Meretz, Kli Shareis, Ein Mekachin Elo Midas. When he puts it back, why is this guy putting it back into the kli? Because somebody yelled at him and said, hey, you're Yisrael, you shouldn't be doing kmitza. So he says, what should I do? Put it back into the kli. And now he puts it back in the kli, and the kohen could start all over again. But when he put it back in the kli, he put it back not to be mekadosh, just to start over. The opposite of kedusha. So memela doesn't become kaddish through the kli. It says Rabbi Yochanan, you see from here that when you put something in a kli, it's not the kli that makes it kaddish, it's your mind that makes it kaddish through the kli. I have to have das in order to make it kaddish.
This is all going with him being Mitzvah.
Yes. What did the Messiah say? What the chiddush is? B'chulu.
That Yisrael puts in the flour before, at the start of the process.
Well, he brings it to the Beis Hamikdash. Start of the process, he brings it to the Beis Hamikdash, and then the kohen takes it from him and puts it in the kli.
And then he got involved after.
Yeah. Well, it's not only Yisrael. It's a kohen that lost a parent that day. It's a kohen that's tamei, b'chusik Kippurim, t'ful yoyin, doesn't have bris milah. All those psum that we had in the Mishnah, including Yisrael. That's the classic.
What's happening that should be different from the man who's back? Like you say, once you bring something on the mizbech, it's called what kli sharet you would think. If you put in a kli sharet, it's almost kind of whatever you put in.
Okay, so that's what we should have said, and we're saying that by mincha it's different. You see from here it's different.
But
And where do you see that by mizbeach? You say because im Allah lo yerdu, that halacha that once you put it up, that's something else. Im Allah lo yerdu doesn't mean that it's not nice for the mizbeach to take it off.
So any
and it already had kedusha before. That's something else.
So if let's say would it be possible to redo shchita, technically, then if you Yisrael shechita, you can come back and redo.
Animal with two necks.
You mean?
Yeah, I'm saying.
I hear. You have to look
That's
into
what
it.
we're saying. What's just chat
No, this is halacha and mincha. Halacha and mincha.
Is there a set amount of flour that they put in the first kli before they start?
There's a minimum, an isarim, like a 5-pound bag of flour, but you could go up to 60 times that amount. And different, we'll see throughout the Masech, the different amounts for different. I think the minimum was the isarim. Now, but it says, we just said that you have to have das. If you don't have das, it doesn't ruin it. But if you have das, l'chayra, homi das mikachin. It seems that if you had proper intent, if the puzzle had intent to be mikadosh, it would become kaddish. As the Gemara, If you have a kli sharis, this exact example, if you have a kli sharis, and a guy that's puzzled, the Yisrael, decides he's going to take his, the kmitza and put it into the kli. What's the halacha? Does it become kaddish or not? What does Rabbi Yochanan tell him? Rabbi Yochanan says, "Ein mekatchen," meaning even if he had intent, it doesn't work. Why? Because the guy is puzzled, and the guy that's puzzled cannot put anything in a kli sharis and make it kaddish. It's the exact opposite of what we just said. Omar Lei, he makes an unbelievable distinction. Omar Lei, he says, it's very easy to build a building. I'm sorry, it's very hard to build a building, right? It'll take 2 years to build a building. It takes a second to implode it. So that's what the Gemara is saying here. This puzzle, in order to create Kedusha, he can't create it. But to ruin something, that he could do. How? Omar Lei mikachim li korev. Aba mikachim li posel. What Rabbi Yochanan told Rish Lakish is that this guy that's puzzled doesn't have the power in him to put it on the Mizbeach. He can't create. But he has enough power to make it puzzle. That his mincha, his kmitza, should be considered enough of an avodah to make it puzzle.
What would the Abba mean that it's Mekadosh Likor?
If we said that he's goymer, he has the psul, and maybe Hillel was saying, you put it on the mizbeach, you're not married it, so you put it in the kli, it's a mincha face, something like that. Okay,
when he puts it back in, does he ruin the other stuff?
Well, it definitely. What do you mean? When he touches the other flour, could you reuse the rest of the flour? As long as it doesn't, you could probably take it away without any leftover. But the actual kmitzis also becomes no good if it touches the other stuff. Rav Amar Mamar, Kigoin Shechziroi, another teretz. The question is, how did this guy that did a apostle avodah, l'chayra, it became kaddish. L'chayra, he by putting it back in the kli, the first kli, he finished his avodah and it became kaddish. Says the Gemara, no, I'll tell you how. I have an example. This kli that we do the mincha from, it's called a bisa. You put the flour into the bisa. What happened was the bisa was overflowing. Here, you have a cup. If it was overflowing, so anything above the rim doesn't have kedushas a kli.
It's not in a kli.
It's not in a kli. So when he returned it, he put it in the kli, but it was not in the kli because it's above the kli. It was resting above the rim. Ask the Gemara, if that's the case, so how did he do the kmitza to begin with? If there was flour above the rim, and above the rim is not considered part of the kli, so how did he go like this with his fingers and take a kmitza out of there? This bisa was was to the rim, not above the rim, to the rim. V'kivin the kometzlei of guma. What happened was, he had a kli that was full to the top. Then he took a kmitza out of it. Was the kmitza good? Yes, because all the flour was below the rim. Now he wants to return it. He doesn't return it into the exact hole that he took the flour out of. He returns it to the flour that was untouched on the sides of the kli. And now his flour is where? Above the rim. But it's above the rim. He has to get into the hole. So what does he do? He shakes it. By shaking it, he didn't put it into the hole. That's koyach koychay. He's moving the cup, which moves the flour, which falls into the hole. That's not considered putting it back into the kli. And that's what we're talking about here.
And normally they would, one of the avoid this is what might across the top of the keli to level it.
To level, yeah. But that's not considered putting it back into the kli.
That's what Kain's does.
That's the
Technical or
yeah. That's technical, but it's not not considered. We're talking about one of the avodas is taking the kmitza and putting it into the kli. He did not put it into the kli. When he put it in, and there's a whole, whoever wants to go into it, there's a whole Reb Chaim here, is putting it on top considered not putting it in the kli at all, or is it considered putting it in the kli but in a bad part of the kli and then later goes into the kitzur? There's different lumdish thing here, lumdish things. Fine. He shakes it, and it by itself falls into place into the hole that it created earlier. This is as if, that's not considered as if he put it into the hole, it's as if a monkey put it into the hole. Why? I think the pshat is because it's koyach koyach. That's one way to learn
Not
it.
the same as a groma. What is the same?
It's sort of like a groma, yeah. It's one power removed. It's not his power putting it in. His power is moving the kli, which moves the flour, which falls into place. He didn't put it in. A third pshat. Perhaps we're talking about a case where this puzzle guy, you're asking me if the puzzle guy put it into the kli is a kli shares and it should create a kedusha. No, maybe the kli is on the ground and that's the kli he put it in. The kohen, when he saw that he messed up, that the Yisrael took out the kmitza, he got fed up and he put the kli on the floor, and now he puts the kmitza in a kli on the floor. It doesn't count as kedusha, but then the kohen could come and take that kli, pick it up, and start all over again. He didn't ruin it by putting it into the kli. Elish mamino. From here you could see that it is considered as if he put the klishar, he put the kmitza into klisharis, even though the kli is on the ground.
But is there enough flour if he's bringing it in a different...
So hold on. Says the Gemara, Omar Lei, kunagis bebaydi boilam. Now you touched a very touchy subject. Whether the kli on the ground is considered in a place where it's not, where it's considered kedusha, or does the kohen have to hold it in his hand in order for the kmitza to become kaddish? The boila under Rebbe Avimi, because we had the shaila. The Rebbe Avimi tani menachos bei Rav Chizda. Rebbe Avimi learned Masechtas Menachos from Rav Chizda. Now the Gemara makes a short stop and says, "Well, stop. Before we go any further, Avimi bei Rav Chizda tani. Is it possible that Avimi, who was Rav Chizda's Rebbe, is going to learn a Masechta from Rav Chizda's Talmud?" Well, Rav Chizda, how do I know that Rav Chizda was Avimi's Talmud? Kulfei Tovei, this is Geshmak Gemara Avaisa. Kulfei Tovei Bali Mavimi. Kulfei is like a stick. I got Geshmaka Petch. For those of us who learned in the Chassidish Chadarim, we know. I was in Eretz Yisrael as a child. I also got Petch here. I guess wherever I would have gone, I would have got Petch.
Turned out okay.
You don't know what it could have been without. It's a special stick to hit people. It's a kulfei. Bali in Hebrew is livla, to swallow. I swallowed many petch from my Rebbe Avimi. Why? Because I once said something that wasn't so gishmak, and he hit me. The Hoshmaitza, what did I say? Avimi said there's a halacha by Yorshim, by orphans, that their father owed money to somebody and he died. So you sell the orphans in the chasam in order to get the money and pay back the debt. But the halacha is you have to announce the sale because you don't want somebody to rip off the assignment. So how long do you announce it? Avimi passed in 60 days. So Rav Chisda asked his Rebbe, why do you say 60 days? It says mafurish 30 days. So he says, "Oi, you didn't chab. If you do it 30 days straight, fine, then it's shloshim yoyim. I'm talking about where it's not every single day. Sheni v'chamishi. So if you only do Mondays and Thursdays, you only have 18 Mondays and Thursdays in 60 days, and that's why you need 60 days.
He hit him because he forgot the halakha.
Yeah, so he beat him up because he forgot. He wasn't behaving. You're not supposed to forget halachas. Says the Gemara, so bottom line is, why did Avimi go to Rav Chisda to learn Masechtas Menachos? That's what the Gemara says. He learned when he was learning Menachos from Rav Chisda Says the Gemara, Avimi Mesechta is Akro is Akrele. He forgot Mesechtas Menachos. The also Kameder Rav Chizda Lat Kuri Gemara. So he came to Rav Chizda, so Rav Chizda could remind him.
That was
Ask the
the
Gemara.
that was the revenge.
You hit me, I'm going to get you back. Fine. Wait a minute. The Rebbe doesn't go to a Talmud. Talmud should come to the Rebbe. Now pay attention. This is one of the biggest yesodis in life here. Sovar hochi. Sovar hochi mistaya milsat fei. Avimi, says Rashi, we know that yogatiyu motsasi ta'amin. In every action you take in life, there's the easy way and there's the hard way. You get a lot more schar if it's harder. And over here it was harder for two reasons, physically and emotionally. First of all, he had to travel to Rav Chizda, that's physical. And second of all, it was embarrassing. A Rebbe to go to a Talmud is mamish b'zyonos. And Avimi said, I want those b'zyonos and I want the physical hardship because like that I'll have the sechar, more sechar, and that will keep me from forgetting menachos again. It's unbelievable. When we get up in the morning, Rabbi Isai, at 6 o'clock in the morning for the daf, instead of going to the 4 o'clock in the afternoon daf, it's that much sechar. And we'll remember it b'siyat d'shmaya. Let's see it inside again. Sovar, hochi mistaya milsat fei. By me going to Rav Chizda, it's going to work out better. Zog the Gemara, the story's not over. Pogabe Rav Nachman. So Avim is all excited. He finished Menachos. Now he knows it. So Rav Nachman says, "Oh yeah, you know it. Let me fahar you." And this is not like multiple choice mifchan. This is the real deal. This is from Rav Nachman. Omalei keitza koimtim. But maybe he didn't know the halacha and he was asking Avimi, "How do you do kmitza?" Omalei mikli zeh. So he pointed to the ground and he said, "From this kli, like that kli. What does that mean?" It means if this kli that I'm pointing to on the floor wasn't the Beis Hamikdash, it would work. And this is the question that we're discussing now. Can you do kmitza if a kohen is not holding it? It's on the ground. You're right. The magbelei kohen. So Tosfos asks on the spot, if the kohen is holding it, so why did he point to the floor? What did he gain by saying that kli? That kli, the kohen is not holding it. So Tosfos says he's coming to tell a different chiddush. That kli that I'm pointing to would have been good enough in the Beis Hamikdash without being mekadesh, just by putting a kmitza into it, by putting a kmitza into a vessel that was never kaddish, that itself sanctifies the kli and makes it kaddish. That's a big chiddush. Or Tosfos says it's talking about a wooden kli that he saw.
When you say that it can't be on the ground, that means both can? The kli rishon?
Yeah, any kli sharis. And we're going to see.
Why doesn't he just say that it's just like this one on the floor? Obviously, when a kohen picks it up off the floor, then it becomes...
You mean, if that's what he meant, that's what he should have said. He didn't say that the kohen picked it up, but that's what he holds.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe it's talking about not that he
So,
gave
but
it.
Akopanim, according to this, if the kohen needs to hold it, so then this teretz is good. This teretz that we just had, that it's talking about a Yisrael that's puzzled. He took the kmitza and put it into a kli that's on the ground. The ground is different than a kohen holding it. You see from Avimi that being on the ground doesn't have any kedusha, and therefore by the puzzle putting into the kli that's on the ground.